overtime.
He kind of looks like the
Is
quarterback for
Reggan.
the Baltimore Ravens. What's his name? Golly, the kid that played at Louisville.
Oh, the quarterback.
Yeah.
He just got that big multi-million-dollar deal.
Looks like, yeah.
3 3-minute rounds coming your way. Lewis Glover in the blue corner, Reggan Northrup in the red.
185. We're in for some fireworks. Looking early, super fast.
Yeah, it looks like Reggan just wants to strike, whereas Lewis Glover is looking in right off the bat for that takedown. It seems like the game plan is all Reggan has to do is just stuff the takedown of Lewis and just let his strikes, let that right cross just straight down the pipe.
Reggan's got a very cool, confident look on his face. We need to change levels to get this takedown. Glover's got to get himself a little bit below the hips, and it'd be a whole lot easier work on that takedown.
Yeah, if I'm Lewis, I'm going to push in, bend my knees, and just drop down just a little bit lower. You want your palm, your grasp just right below the butt cheek of your opponent there if you want to take him in.
Switches to a single.
Or yeah, exactly. Or he could just switch to a single, double to single, single to double, go back and forth, chain wrestling.
I was always a big fan of switch. If I'm going to switch from the double to that single, then I'm going to drag that single with me off the wall and sit him down.
Exactly. Most people, they just fight in there and they just want it's like double or nothing.
What's crazy is you got to think is Glover's not using a ton of energy sitting here while Northrup's probably using a little more. His breathing's a lot more restricted.
Yeah, and at halfway through his first round, 90 seconds in,
you got to think if Lewis drops down and grabs that ankle and just grabs ankle.
exactly, he can either continue to utilize, if I'm him, I'd utilize the head pressure. His head is underneath the neck of Reggan Northrup, but he's not really utilized.
And he's got that arm trap. And Northrup ends up circling out, looking to throw kicks. Let's gotta see if this wrestling's taking any juice out of Glover. Vicious strikes by Northrup.
Exactly. Every time Lewis Glover steps in for a takedown, Reggan just takes a step back and just rains those punches, either two straight down the middle or a hook to the body.
Northrup looks cool, calm, and collective, and is just waiting.
Exactly. He's not worried at all. Because at the end of the day, Northrup knows exactly what the game plan is of Glover. If I know that this person just wants to take me down, I'm not scared of that. He's not worried about Glover's hands at all whatsoever.
And to be honest with you, it seems like Glover's a little apprehensive to throw, worried about catching some of that heat from Northrup.
But even as calm as Northrup seems to be, and even as much, lack of damage rather that Lewis Glover hasn't landed, he is, has been the more aggressive, fighter, initiating the action, initiating the takedowns. So in a close round such as that first one there, where there was no really damage, on the judges' scorecards, I would give that one to Lewis Glover.
I could see that.
Because, what was the most damage that Northrup was able to do to Glover?
Didn't really land a whole lot, and he, at least Glover threatened with several takedown attempts and held him on the fence. So Northrup wasn't able to mount any offense in that situation. You can tell his corner's telling him to get in there and pull the trigger, stop playing the wrestling game.
And now going into this second round, now that Northrup knows what the game plan is, Glover, now would be the perfect time for him to switch up, feint those level changes, fake the takedowns, keep your hands up high, level change like you're going to go for a takedown. Then once Northrup puts his hands down to stuff the takedown, that overhand right is there for Glover. He just has to fake that takedown a couple times, get ready, to throw his hips back to sprawl and then come over the top.
It's amazing to see amateurs start implementing game plans like that. Before it was just as an am, you take a fight, you come in with sound fundamentals and hope. But now we got guys that are implementing professional level. Oof. And this might,
Reggan,
you can smell,
really turning up the heat.
Exactly, yep. Both of these fighters in their corner told him, Northrup's corner, hey, man, stuff to take down, land your right cross. And then for Lewis Glover, hey, man, level change, you got to overhand right or go in for your takedown. When you're going to go for a takedown, he's got to commit to it.
The experience of Lewis Glover showing here. He ate a couple of big shots and instantly tried to change levels.
Whoa.
Ends up in the worser position of it for now.
Let's see if Northrup's top game.
This is going to be a bad spot.
Yeah, I don't imagine Northrup here trying to fish for any sort of submissions. He's just looking to land strikes.
There he comes up the neck quickly.
Flirted with it for half a second.
You know, if somebody's not used to finishing with that choke, though, they're not even going to waste time trying to set it up. He's got the body triangle, which is damn near impossible to break, especially while you're gassed and sweaty.
Yeah, but if I'm Lewis Glover, I want both of my hands on his one hand and turn into him. You got to cut hard. You got to keep that chin tucked.
It's not really the best position for throwing
What's
strikes.
crazy is Northrup's not even really trying to set up this choke. He's just kind of waiting for an opportunity to hit him.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is not on the mind for Reggan Northrup at all.
What's crazy, though, is in a position like this, if he's not advancing it, all right, mount's probably a little bit better for him.
It seemed like this is what he wanted more. He wanted to be more in a dominant mount position than have his back.
Yeah, Lewis is going to have to get out of that.
He switches
ASAP.
that crucifix over. Getting corner, Lewis's corner's telling him to stand up.
Reggan just dragging him back down. He had designs on pulling Reggan to the deep end, and he looks to be there himself at the moment.
If Reggan starts getting higher up on that arm, trapping that arm under the leg, we might see something. Look how cold and calculated. Northrup just, there's nothing in the world that could bother that guy right now.
Yeah, his face is definitely ice cold.
And he's up. No quitting Glover. Oh!
You got to be
Caught it.
throwing head kicks on a wrestler.
Yeah, because this is right where Lewis Glover wanted the fight to happen. His opponent's butt on the canvas. Now, but what is Lewis Glover going to do with this? He's taken him down several times before in the first and the second round. But he's not really fishing for any takedowns. He's not really threatening with any ground and pound to get the referee Larry to stop it.
Yeah, Reggan had just taken a moment to set up that kick. Couple of punches first. Could have made a heck of a lot of difference.
So if you're a judge sitting there watching this and you see there's like no emotion
back
on
and forth.
Northrup's face at any point, whether he's winning or losing, if I see that as a judge, I don't really know how I take that, you know.
I think Reggan controlled that round for about 3/4 of the way. That was a sign of life there in Lewis Glover whenever he caught that kick and took him down there at the end. But I think Lewis Glover's got a little bit of a hill to climb.
You got to wonder if Northrup's going to come out headhunting in the second round or in the third round. I feel like he could have easily finished the fight with a choke if he had.
Yeah, for those positions he had, he was not searching very hard for that choke. Third and final round. I think Reggan just wants to kind of do it with one big shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Reggan was in a dominant position. I think if that was any other more seasoned MMA fighter, anybody with just a little bit more jiu-jitsu, you know, credentials under their belt, they would have been choked out Lewis Glover.
Both men are incredibly slippery right now.
Yeah, going into this third round, I want to see something. One of these fighters definitely has to separate themselves from the other one. That first round, I give it by an edge to Lewis Glover, and that second one, I give to Reggan Northrup. So this third round is definitely going to be the tiebreaker.
And right now, Lewis Glover's dictating the pace.
Yeah, even though there's no damage, he's still establishing, you know, control.
Yeah, Reggan can't stay here.
And you got to think Northrup could threaten the Kimura here to try to get out, and he's kind of just holding on to that overhook over the arm for no reason. got to build some frames and start trying to get his way up, not even trying to wall walk.
Exactly. Thus far, it hasn't been Reggan's, grappling or jiu-jitsu capabilities. It's been straight athleticism that's been able to keep him out of some of these dangerous positions thus far. Athletics will definitely get you, that athletic ability will definitely get you, only but so far, especially at the amateur level. But once you have, 3-5 fights underneath your belt at amateur level and then you turn pro, just being in shape and a tough guy isn't going to get you very far.
Yeah, this is speak more to the experience of Lewis Glover right now. Just a wet blanket on Reggan Northrup.
Doing an Ben Askren blanket party right now. Dana White once famously said when he has trouble going to sleep, he just watches a Ben Askren fight. This has been way more entertaining to me. If he wasn't in such a good top position, you got to think Larry'd probably stand them up at this point.
Any attempt at strikes from the bottom right now by Reggan is futility. He needs to get up.
He's just trying to basically stalemate the position and wait for Larry to stand him up. He should be building frames, getting the head off of him to where he can stand back up. That's right in the ear hole.
That's going to go to the judges' scorecards.
Northrup had nothing for Glover's top bop game on the bottom. Hey, as a coach,
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
twice.
The judges have reached a decision. Your winner via split decision out of the blue corner, Lewis Sweet Lou Glover.
Just as we predicted, Sweet Lou gets his hand raised in victory. I would love to see Northrup fight another striker. Maybe not a